All right, good evening, everyone. As you're continuing to file in, thank you for joining us for the virtual college fair. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening. So please feel free to sign up for additional ones. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available in about a week at the same place where you originally registered. With that settled, we'll kick off our presentations and start with Hawaii Pacific University.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for being here tonight. My name is Alex. I am located here in Honolulu. I work in our Office of Admissions at Hawaii Pacific University, and I get to work with all of our amazing Northern California students. So I used to live in the Berkeley, Oakland area. So I wish we were all together in person tonight, but so happy you could join us virtually. I'm going to share a little bit more about HPU, a little bit about what makes us different, and then talk a little bit about the admissions and application process. So we are a private university located here on the island of Oahu. We have about 4,000 undergraduate students. So we're welcoming students from all over the world. I always like to talk a little bit about our location. We, like I said, are on the island of Oahu, so not the biggest island in terms of size, but we are in population. So about 1 million people live here on our island. So there's always something to do, always something going on. One thing I've loved about living in Honolulu is we're very much an international city. So folks are coming from all over the world to work and play and go to school. And you definitely see that reflected at HPU. So we are the most culturally diverse private university in the country. And our students are coming from all 50 states and over 70 different countries. So we're also routinely ranked the happiest city in America, which is just my favorite fun fact. Our campus is located right in the heart of downtown Honolulu, so it doesn't look like your traditional college campus. It's very much part of our city. So you have the opportunity to walk to jobs and internships and great restaurants and coffee shops. And we're only about 10 minutes away from the nearest beach. So you can make the most of your time at HPU. On the academic side, our focus is on hands-on learning opportunities for our students. So that looks different depending on your major or the program you're interested in. We have a guaranteed internship program for all of our students. So that's just our promise that you'll do at least one internship by the time you graduate. But most of our students end up doing more. For our nursing students, hands-on learning looks like working in our nursing simulation labs. For our marine biology students, it looks like going out on our 40-foot research boat. So actually getting to be on the ocean during class time. So we have a little bit of everything in terms of undergraduate major. As you can see everything here on the screen. Our most popular majors are probably marine biology, oceanography, psychology, business, and nursing. But we definitely have students with a wide variety of interests. So you don't have to come into the university with a declared major. You can always double major or take on a minor if that's what you're interested in. Our students tend to be pretty adventurous. They want to have new experiences and try new things. They love meeting new people, and they really make the most of their time in Hawaii. So our students are very involved both on and off campus. Lots of opportunities to be involved with student organizations or with our awesome HPU Sharks Athletics, or to study abroad during your time at HPU. And then our students, I always tell them, make a bucket list when you get here to Hawaii. What hikes do you want to do? What beaches do you want to explore? What cultural festivals do you want to go to? Because those 4 years are going to go so fast. So you want to make sure that you're really making the most of your experience here in Hawaii. So for any of my seniors who are here tonight, on the admissions and application side, we really take a holistic approach to the admissions process. So we don't just look at your grades or your GPA. We want to know a little bit more about you in the process. And we don't have any minimum requirements for admissions. So no minimum GPA, no minimum test scores, anything like that. For our application process, we ask you to obviously start by filling out the application. We have our own HPU application, and then we're also a Common App school. We ordinarily have a $45 application fee, but since you all came to hang out tonight, you can see our application fee waiver code on the screen there. It is SHARK, so that'll save you $45. We ask for your high school transcripts. Those can be unofficial for the admissions process. We are test optional for the ACT and the SAT, so you do not need to include those scores with your application. We also don't require the personal statement or the college essay, but I always recommend you include something so we know a little bit more about you. And same with letters of recommendation. They're not required for our application process, but super helpful. We love to read all of the awesome things other people have to say about you. And then we have 2 application deadlines this year. The first is our early action deadline on November 15th, and then the second is our regular decision deadline on January 15th. So we're a private university, so that means no in-state or out-of-state tuition. Our tuition for this year is set at $28,800 for the year, and then room and board can range. It can vary between $14,000 and $19,000 per year, depending on the style of housing and the style of dining plan you choose. But a program we started last year that we are continuing, and I'm so excited about it, is our California Match Commitment. So we will match the UC's in-state tuition for our California high school students for all 4 years that you're at HPU. So it takes our tuition from that almost $29,000 number down to $12,570 per year. You can still add federal financial aid or additional talent-based scholarships on top of that. So hopefully making the private university experience affordable for our California high school students. We also have a ton of great virtual events coming up this fall. So virtual info sessions and campus tours and student panels. I always recommend checking us out on social media. We're doing something fun, always on Instagram. Our YouTube channel shows off what our students are doing across the island, which I love. And here's my contact information. So if you have questions after this, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to chat more about life in Hawaii or HPU, or to share where to find the best burrito on island. You can email me or call me anytime. So thank you all so much, and I will pass it on to Dickinson.
Great, thank you so much. Up next is Dickinson College.
Thanks, Owen. Thanks, Alex. Hello, everyone. I hope that after a long day of Zoom meetings that you just know that I'm very appreciative that you're here. I know this global pandemic is not what we all planned for, and so I really appreciate you taking time to learn a little bit more about a college maybe you've never even heard of. And that's not unusual. In fact, I like to share, and you can see it from my screen here, that I'm actually a regional counselor. So I'm based in California. If there wasn't a pandemic, I would be at your high school or at this event, attended it before. And I think what you should know is that you are exceptional, even by looking at the group of colleges that are in this room today. The mere fact that you're even considering these colleges puts you in a rare group of students. In fact, if you look at students who go to college in the United States, 80% in fact go within 3 hours of home. So if you're going to go to any of these colleges, you're going to go to more than 1,000 miles away. And in fact, that means that only 2% of students in this country will do that. So pat yourself on the back for even considering going that far. And parents, brace yourself for the possibility that your students may go that far away, and welcome that opportunity. And I even know that if you're looking at colleges far away, you're even less likely to be looking at colleges like Dickinson. And colleges like Dickinson are small liberal arts colleges. Out here on the West Coast, those are places like Occidental College. Those are places like the Claremont colleges down here in Southern California. Maybe Santa Clara, maybe Lewis and Clark. Lesser known places, but certainly places that have a long history of educating students in a smaller environment. You can see we have an 8-to-1 student faculty ratio. We send more than half of our students abroad. This is a place where you will have an internship before you graduate. And those are things that are normal for our students. But I know for our students who are coming from California, perhaps those are not the norms because we're used to bigger schools. So thank you for considering a place like Dickinson. And as Alex mentioned, I want to talk a little bit about what makes Dickinson distinctive within the liberal arts. And it actually goes back to our founding. This is Old West. This is an iconic building in the life of a Dickinsonian, which is what we call students who go to Dickinson. And this is the first building on campus. Students literally, if there's not a global pandemic, will march up these brownstone steps, sign into the college, and then 4 years later sign out of the college, down the brownstone steps, beyond the limestone into the world. And they've been doing that since 1783. In fact, Dickinson is the first college founded in the United States, literally 6 days after the American Revolution, so that students would learn what they learn and then go back into their communities and give back. And the thing I love about this building also, I think, exemplifies our student body. I like to say that Dickinson is East Coast academics because we are literally 2 hours outside of Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Baltimore. In fact, at the time, we were 2 days horse ride from those places, intentionally put there. But on top of this building is a mermaid, and that's an accident. In fact, the architect of this building wanted it to be a Triton, but our Dickinsonians, rather than fix the mistake, embraced it. And so the unofficial mascot of our college is the mermaid. And I really think it really kind of exemplifies the fact that our students are East Coast academics, but with that West Coast collegial community, a place that if you are going that far away, you're going to feel at home. And then as you look at the campus community, you can see this nice green lawn. The other distinctive part about Dickinson is the fact that we're literally adjacent to the town. So you can see the quad here, but then just above it in this next slide, you can see where we are just north of the green trees there is where the town of Carlisle begins. So our students are really immersed in a small college town, unlike anything that you have out here on the West Coast. And students really have the opportunity to embrace that. The idea that they're gonna be in a place with only 20,000 folks where you can focus in on your studies and still get into DC, still get into Philadelphia on weekends is an attribute that our students really love. But then we also have all 4 seasons. The Carlisle is definitely a place for a lot of outdoor activities, and it doesn't limit itself to kayaking and things in the summer. It also allows students to kind of toboggan. You can see here that the roadways are clear, that the pathways are clear. Dickinsonians definitely have the opportunity to experience all 4 seasons, and they do it in the mid-Atlantic part of the country, so it means that we're not going to have snow that stays there all winter long. In fact, after a few weeks, all of it is melted away, and students can really enjoy the opportunity to experience something they never have done. But in addition to that, it's again in a place where there is a little bit more diversity than you might expect in central Pennsylvania. Because in Carlisle, not only do you have access to lots of different small town things like a local theater, but the Army War College is there and Dickinson's Penn State School of Law. So you're not going to be, in the middle of a place where there's not a lot of diversity. In fact, students at Dickinson come from 40 different states and 52 countries. And then when students think about their majors, they have the opportunity to study abroad. In fact, distinctively, Dickinson's global focus means that we run 18 of our own programs. So when students study abroad, 75% are doing a Dickinson program, and they are opportunities to study in New Zealand, it's opportunity to study in Italy, and in fact, we share faculty with these places so that we make it very easy for students to study abroad, not just for a semester, but even a year. And the last thing that makes Dickinson distinctive within the liberal arts perspective is our commitment to sustainability. You can see from this slide that many of the attributes that we've had, many of the accolades that we received over the years, but make no doubt these are investment that the college has made. 8 years ago, we committed to be carbon neutral, and we did that in March. And it's just why the college has been named 2 years in a row the most sustainable college in America. But students have the opportunity to study from 45 different majors and programs of study. In fact, 52% of our students are doing majors that are blended, and another 30% are actually doing studies that are double majors in and of themselves. And as you look at where they go, students definitely have jobs. Conversations we have with students is you don't necessarily have to major in business in order to get a job, but it all starts with that application, right? It all starts with connecting like you did here. If any of this sounds interesting to you, some things to note about Dickinson that are notable, that we had been test optional since 1996, but now we are test blind or test free, meaning we won't consider that. So thanks for the information, opportunity to share with you, and I'll throw it back to Owen.
Great, thank you so much, Phil. And up next, we have the University of Tennessee.
Great. Okay, let me just share this really quickly. Okay, guys, are we good? So my name is Ashley Anderson, and I represent the University of Tennessee. I am a proud East Tennessean. I'm originally from Sevierville, if any of you are familiar with the area, but I live right here in Northern California in the Bay Area. In fact, I'm in Livermore. So for any students and parents who are on this call tonight, if you like what you hear about the University of Tennessee and you would like to learn more, please reach out to me. I'll be your main point of contact at the University of Tennessee, and I would love to talk with you about becoming a future University of Tennessee volunteer, and that's what we call ourselves at UT, the University of Tennessee Volunteers, or the Vols for short. So a little bit about our campus. We are a large institution. I think that's great because there's so many benefits of attending a large school. You'll see that we have about 24,000 students at the undergraduate level, but total we have about 29,000 students. And with that comes a lot of perks and a lot of fun things. So you'll see that we have over 360 different undergraduate programs. So just about anything that you're interested in studying, we're probably going to have at the University of Tennessee. We are very well known for our Division I SEC athletic programs and our school spirit that we have on campus. In fact, in addition to our education, our academic programs, I would say that athletics are probably one of the other big draws for California students coming to the University of Tennessee, as they want that big school environment. And I'm going to make myself disappear really quick and show you Neyland Stadium. That is our football stadium. It's one of the largest football stadiums in the nation and seats over 102,000 fans in there. And you will see that we are located right on the banks of the beautiful Tennessee River. So moving on, I'll talk a little bit about the classroom experience. So first of all, we are a Tier 1 research institution. So we have research opportunities available to all students across all majors at the highest level. And in fact, we have some really great research opportunities for our STEM students, because right in our backyard, we have a national laboratory, which is the Oak Ridge National Laboratory, where our students are pursuing research alongside many of the world's top scientists and engineers, and 14 of our faculty members have joint positions doing research there and also teaching at the University of Tennessee. You'll see that even though we are a large institution, we have a low student to faculty ratio, which is 17:1. Yes, students are probably going to have a few lecture style type classes first year, but after that, the classes tend to get much smaller at UT. Here are some great visuals of our campus. We highlight our adorable mascot, Smokey, here, who has some really important roles on game day and throughout the year on campus. You'll see one of my favorite things on campus in the bottom left-hand corner. That's the rock. And just about every day, students repaint the rock. So it has layers and layers of paint on it. But it's fun when students are walking to campus each day. They can go by and see what's on the rock, see how it's changed. And there's our incredible marching band, the Pride of the Southland. Moving on to talk about our majors that we have at UT. Like I said, we have over 360 programs, but some of our really standout majors are going to be engineering. We see a ton of students from the West Coast coming to us for engineering. One of our engineering programs is ranked #1 in the country, and that's our metallurgical engineering program. We also have nuclear engineering, aerospace engineering, and just about everything in between. We've got some great science programs on campus. We're very well known for our business programs, and our supply chain management program is ranked #1 in the nation. We also have a body farm on our campus, which is very unique. And our students study the decomposition of human remains through our forensic anthropology program there. We have an animal science program at the undergraduate level and a vet school on our campus. And the list just really goes on and on. I just realized I did leave off our direct entry nursing program, which that's another huge draw for students coming from the West Coast. But if you have questions about any of these majors, reach out to me. In terms of our location, I don't think it gets much better than Knoxville, Tennessee. So we are located in the city of Knoxville. It's an urban environment. Students love it. They're within walking distance to downtown Knoxville. There's a lot of great entertainment options, but then also a lot of job and internship opportunities for our students. We do have an airport located right in Knoxville, so it makes it easy to get to and from campus, especially for our out-of-state students. But then right in our backyard, we have the most visited national park in the entire country, which is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Not only is it beautiful, but it offers a lot of great opportunities for our students to participate in outdoor activities like skiing, camping, hiking, whitewater rafting, you name it. So Knoxville is just a great place for students to spend their 4 years at the University of Tennessee. What I will leave you all with here today, because I am short on time, I will just tell you that we have gone test optional for this upcoming year, so you can take a look at what that looks like for our students who are applying with or without test scores, but we truly are test optional. Students will not be negatively impacted if they don't submit test scores to us. And we are also awarding scholarships for students who apply with test scores and without test scores, which is something that we're really excited about. So that's what I'll leave you guys with. Thank you so much for attending my presentation, and go Vols.
Great. Thank you so much, Ashley. Before we continue, just a reminder that the Q&A widget is available if you have specific questions about one institution or are looking to ask questions of a few. But up next, we have the University of Missouri.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for a few minutes of your time. My name is Aaron Cook, and I am a regional admissions rep for the University of Missouri. Those of us that know us well also call us Mizzou. That is our nickname. So we are located in Columbia, Missouri, which I'll get to in just a second, but we have more than 30,000 students on our registered botanical garden. That's 1,200 acres in mid-Missouri. Our students come from every county in the state of Missouri, plus all 50 states, and then 128 countries currently. We service both the state of Missouri as a land-grant institution and an AAU institution. That allows us to have programs like law, medicine, veterinary medicine, agriculture, engineering, all on one campus. And so I think we kind of have the best of both worlds, getting to be the land-grant and the AAU institution in the state of Missouri. You're probably wondering maybe where Missouri is. And so let's talk about that, because I get that question a lot when I'm in Northern California. And here you go. We are in the middle of the middle, as our SEC football commercial says. And you can see that California is our 5th largest population on campus currently, freshman through senior year. So a lot of Californians, we know they leave the state. We know they go to the Midwest, and we seem to be an attractive option for those students that do go to the Midwest. Columbia, or we refer to it affectionately as Como, is again Columbia, Missouri. It's 2 hours away from St. Louis and Kansas City on each side. You can fly directly into Columbia on United Airlines or American, or you can fly into Kansas City or St. Louis on any major airline and take a shuttle back and forth between our campus. 120,000 people. Our downtown is located right next to our campus. And so you walk through the archway of the School of Journalism and you are in our downtown for Shakespeare's Pizza, which was recently voted #1 college town pizza by Good Morning America. So you definitely want to grab a slice when you come to Columbia and explore. Really great diversity downtown, really great eclectic culture scene. Students absolutely love getting to be a resident of Columbia and a Mizzou Tiger at the same time. We do have more than 300 degree programs on campus that are all direct admit programs. So as an incoming freshman, if you know what you want to major, you are more than welcome to pick that as an incoming freshman and set sail, or you can change your mind. In your first 4 semesters, you have plenty of flexibility to really figure out what you want to do. Most popular majors on our campus tend to be journalism, business, engineering, health science, and nursing. Again, pre-vet, pre-med, and pre-law, along with the honors college, are some attractive draws for our students as well. More than 600 clubs and organizations for students to sink their teeth into, inside and outside their major. And we do have 20 Division I sports in the SEC, as I previously mentioned. One thing we pride ourselves on is the hands-on learning on our campus, or what we call the Missouri method. The best example is the 2 gentlemen sitting at the news desk. That is KOMU. That is our NBC affiliate for 16 mid-Missouri counties. So we are delivering 6.5 hours of live television newscast for 365 days a year for those 16 mid-Missouri counties. So if you are into broadcast journalism, no better place to come than our campus and actually practice that craft. But you can see it's spread into agriculture, engineering, business, all over campus. Quickly about scholarships, we do have an upcoming date that seems like it's around the corner. December 1st is our deadline for competitive scholarships, including our STAMP scholarship, which is a full year full ride scholarship with a $16,000 spending allowance. You can also receive automatic awards all the way through summer after your senior year. Those can run up to $18,000 per year as well. And then the state of Missouri is one of the 2 easiest states in the country to actually become a temporary Missouri resident during your freshman year, allowing you to automatically pay in-state instead of out-state rates for sophomore, junior, senior year as well. Finally, we are offering in-person visits, so you are more than welcome to come to our campus if you have the resources to come to the Midwest right now and visit and do a tailor-made visit, or you can also do several things virtually. I would like to point out that there is a really cool online campus tour function we're doing now. You've seen the scripted campus tours where you would have a tour guide that has a script and they read that. Our online campus tour right now is actually one-on-one with a current student who is a tour team member who is signing on through Zoom and actually taking you on campus on a golf cart and getting you to see all the parts of campus you actually want to see. So we're trying everything we can in a virtual world to make sure that we are a good fit for you. And like Tennessee, we have fully gone holistic with our admission requirements. So you are more than welcome to apply with a test score, without a test score and with a personal statement and resume instead. Same thing with scholarships, test score or no test score for all of our automatic scholarships as well. Here's our contact info. Email addresses are very easy on our campus. askmizzou@missouri.edu is the generic one. Mine is askaaron@missouri.edu. So ask, AARON, @missouri.edu, and that's how you can get a hold of me. Thanks for your time tonight.
Great. Thank you so much, Aaron. Up next, we have Bucknell University.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging around till almost the end. My name is Jenny Kim, and I am a regional associate director for Bucknell University. Bucknell University is located in central Pennsylvania, and we are anywhere between 2 to 3.5 hours away from New York City, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Maryland, and 4 hours away from Washington, D.C. We are a liberal arts institution. We are a small school. So our student population is 3,600 students, undergrad. And we do have a little bit of a graduate program, but it's only about 50 students. So you can say that a lot of the professors, all the professors, their attention is given to the undergraduate students. So although we are a small institution, we are full of resources so that students can do research, projects, fellowships, and compete internationally. So at Bucknell University, we have 3 colleges: the College of Arts and Sciences, the College of Engineering, and a College of Management. So we're a little different than the traditional liberal arts in that we do have direct entry for one of our colleges. However, we encourage students to study across discipline. So you may come in as an animal behavior major because you want to do research with the primates we have on campus, but also take classes in the College of Management or pick up a minor in real estate. We have over 50 majors and 60 minors within the College of Arts and Sciences. However, in the College of Engineering, we do have 8 majors. We have everything from biomedical engineering to environmental, computer science, civil, chemical. In fact, our biomedical and our environmental engineering is ranked #1 in the country for an undergraduate program because our students are amazing. We have the lab facilities, we have the research opportunities. In fact, I just learned this morning from one of the students who's graduating, he's a senior, that he placed 7th as a biomedical engineer in an international competition as an engineer. So I was super proud of him because I saw him in high school, and just to hear that was really incredible. And he also shared that he published with his professors. So it was just really neat to hear that our students, although we may not be a large research institution, that our students have very comparable opportunities as those schools that are larger than Bucknell. Our smallest college is our College of Management. It's the only college that requires a direct entry into the program. That's because we want to make sure that our class sizes are small, that our majors are not impacted, and our students are graduating on time. One of the cool classes that a student mentioned that I was just shocked beyond belief, because they said it's a student fund investment class, and they said they take $2 million of our university endowment and use it as part of the semester of figuring out how to invest and looking at portfolios. And this is for students who are either in finance, in accounting, in business analytics, managing for sustainability, or markets innovation, one of those classes. So our students are definitely hands-on in all their classes. We have cool programs. We have our version of Shark Tank, where students, regardless of major, could come up with a product and they're given cash prizes to invest into their business. Because of our size, we are a living and learning community. We have 92% of our students that live on campus. That means we focus on themed housing to make sure the students are creating a culture of community. Our students also have said, I have my professor's cell phone number because I'm really close with them. Once again, that small classroom, getting to know your professor, not as just a teacher, but also as a person and a mentor. Our students also study abroad. We partner with over 100 organizations that are accredited so that if a Bucknell specific program that we run at our institution is not a good fit, then we match you and partner you with a program and an institution that you can easily study abroad, whether it's 1 semester, 2 semester, or 3 semesters. Our students do very well in terms of placement rate. Within 9 months of graduating from Bucknell, they're either placed in graduate school, in a job, or for volunteer work, such as AmeriCorps, Teach for America. And I believe that a lot of it is because we have a very strong alumni base. We have 54,000 plus alumni at Bucknell that are very enthusiastic, wanting to recruit for internships and externships and jobs at Bucknell. So some information here about application is that we are holistic. We do look at the rigor of your class, and because we are test optional. Well, that ended slide. We'll try to go here. Because we are test optional, you are considered regardless of whether you submit a test or not, and that same thing goes for merit scholarships. We don't have supplemental essays that we will require to replace testing, so rest assured that regardless if you want to submit it, not submit it, we will work with you at any point. So that's just very general information, but here's my information that I listed here, that if you have any other questions about Bucknell, please feel free to contact me, and I would love to speak with you.
Thank you so much, Jenny. And finally, we have the University of Hawaii at Mānoa.
All right, thank you so much. So aloha everyone, and thank you for sticking around. I'm here to talk to you a little bit more about the University of Hawaii at Mānoa. My name is Amber Owens, and I'm going to be your official admissions counselor for California. I'm actually originally from the Bay Area, so I always get really excited to talk to students from my home area. But a little bit more about our campus itself is our campus is located in Honolulu on the island of Oahu. We are about 320 acres. So for those who have been to the Disneyland campus or Disneyland Park, we are about 2 Disneyland parks put together prior to Star Wars Land. Post Star Wars, not too sure. But the good news is you never have to worry about long lines. The longest line you'll ever wait in is waiting in line for coffee at Dunkin' or Starbucks during finals week. No promise then. But living on the island of Oahu is great. We have all the same stores you guys have in Northern California. But of course, on top of that, we have wonderful beaches, great hikes, and of course, you can also get a great education. Our student body, we have about 18,000 students. We are the largest campus here in the islands of Hawaii. We have about 66% of our students do come from locally here in state. About 27% do come from the continental US. Honestly, I would say about 20% come from California alone, so represent. And we, of course, will meet students from California, from here locally on all 8 islands, or really from all across the world. We have over 100 countries represented here at Mānoa. We're actually currently ranked number 6 for the most diverse campuses in the US, so we're pretty proud of that. We have over 100 different bachelor's degrees. Some of the degrees that we do specialize in is definitely our international business program. We're currently ranked number 16 in the US for that. We also do specialize in physics and astronomy. We're currently ranked number 12 in the US for that as well. And our second language programs, we actually offer more second language programs than any other school in the US. We offer 27 second language programs. And the island you're looking at right here is called Coconut Island, which is right off the coast of Kaneohe, which is the northeast side or the windward side of the island of Oahu. And this is going to be our Marine Biology Institute for research, and it's built entirely on top of a coral reef. So marine biology is definitely one of our strong points as well. I would hope so. We are surrounded by a body of water naturally. So if you guys are interested in research, we are Research One Institute. We receive a land grant, sea grant, space grant, and sun grant. So that's definitely something we're proud of. And then if you're anything STEM related, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, we've got you covered We have so many different great, amazing programs with a lot of hands-on research, but also a lot of different internship opportunities for students, because we understand that you have to get experience, you have to have experience to get experience, that weird catch-22. And so also we want you guys to have fun here in college. That's what the whole experience is about, is getting the great education, getting experience, and having fun. So we have over 270 different clubs, anything from getting involved with the student newspaper, having your own radio station, playing intramural sports. Sometimes even our professors like to get involved. I know one of my students was telling me that her dodgeball professor, or sorry, her community ecology professor actually played dodgeball against her. Super random, they weren't expecting it, but it's always fun. You never know who may show up. So I encourage you all, if you're interested in getting to know, like, obviously a larger campus, but that small community feel, you can definitely find it here at UH. We, of course, do have an excellent gym on campus. And if you guys are interested in athletics, we are a Division I athletics school. We are definitely most known for our men's volleyball team, who consistently ranks #1. Technically, we're #2, but that's only because of COVID this year, and obviously we couldn't finish the season, but that's okay. We'll get it back for 2021. We also do have an excellent men's football team that they're just rebuilding. They had a great season last year, so we're excited to see how they do this year as well. All the games are free for students, so I encourage all students to take advantage of that. Now, maybe you want to go farther than just Manoa. Maybe you want to go study abroad in Australia or New Zealand, or maybe Osaka, Japan. You can do all of that here at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. We have over 160 partner universities throughout the world. Also, for student housing, you guys can have the choice to live on campus for all years, no years, 1 year. The option is completely up to you. We have some great living learning communities to help you meet other students. So definitely you will not feel lonely. You'll meet so many lifelong friends here at Manoa. As far as our admissions requirements, most important thing to note is that we are not on the Common App. We are our own separate application. But on top of that, our deadline is going to be January 5th as our priority, and that's going to be the date that I recommend for all students. On our application, for what we look for is our high school courses are going to be very similar to the California A through G requirements, just some slight differences. We will look that you have a competitive GPA. We are completely test optional for the fall 2021 through spring 2022 school year. So if you don't have a test score, we do not need it whatsoever. And you are welcome to go ahead and submit some supplemental documents. Not required, but I always definitely recommend it for students. We like to kind of get to know you a little bit better. So you can submit letters of rec, personal statements, resume, list of accomplishments, totally up to you. Also, we are a part of WUI, so you can definitely see that WUI price, no separate application. It's all just, you're just gonna check mark a box on the actual application itself. And of course, right here is going to be my contact information, so feel free to definitely let me know if you have any questions that arise, and you can also make a virtual appointment with me online as well. So thank you all so much. Appreciate you all listening.
Great, thank you. We do actually have one question right now that is directed at you, Amber, if you want to come back for that. And it is wondering if you offer a Spanish major.
Yes, we definitely have a Spanish major, and I know they have a Spanish club and everything for it, so absolutely.
Great, thank you. And if anyone has any other questions, certainly feel free to drop those in the chat. We have great experts here who will be happy to answer any questions about the admission process or anything in general about that, or questions about their institutions and what their institutions offer. While we wait for any of those questions to potentially come in, I do want to take a moment to thank you for joining us. At the conclusion of the webinar, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, please remember this is just one session being hosted of many, so be sure to register for additional ones. And in about a week's time, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as ones from other institutions on the same website where you initially registered. We'll do one last call for any questions. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you have a great evening.